All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mikestand. It's Friday, so that means it's our weekly look back at comics history. Tonight, of course, we're going to be going through some comics that went on sale from Dell Comics. And let me say hi to my co-host here for tonight, Rick Piper. Hey, Rick, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Can't wait to dive into some old comics.
Yeah, well, before we do, I have to step away from the computer for just a quick moment. So if you want to go ahead and plug your book, plug your projects, and whatever else, go for it. I'm gonna step away for a moment. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okie dokie.
And as always, feel free to share your link in the chat if you would like.
Yeah. Well, hello everybody. Uh, how are you all tonight? Hope you're all doing good. I'm Rick Piper of Cross Comics. As you can see beside me, we have what's coming to Cross Comics in 2023, and that is Canadian Shield 3, Snowdrift 2, and the Flame number 1. They're books that I'll be having on sale. I'm in the middle of finishing up Canadian Shield 2, which has been on Indiegogo in demand. Hopefully, it will be going to the printers early January along with Snowdrift number 1. So you can get over there and get them before I go to the printers. Because after I get them in hand, and I guess maybe after I send them all out, I will be taking it down. But you'll still be able to get them over on my website, which is crosscomics.ca. And of course, you can find me here on YouTube. I have weekly streams at Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's just a chill stream. I might draw whatever digitally and have a bunch of friends with me either on stream on the panel or just, chatting with people in the chat. Whichever way it goes, is good. And of course, I'm here every so often helping out Mike with the comics retrospect. And that's usually a good thing, good time.
All right.
And Mike is back, so we can
So
start.
you didn't share your link, huh?
Not yet.
All right.
I did talk about links or stuff.
All right. Well, let's see. We can talk for a few minutes to give people a chance. See if we give people a chance to come in. Yeah. So, yeah, I noticed that Chris, I guess, is now. He used to start his pre-show at 5, and then start his main show at 5:30. But I guess now he's pushing back to 5:30 and 6 respectively. Huh?
Yeah. I think that's just because of Diana, because of her scheduling.
Oh, her work schedule.
Yeah.
Was she just not able to get home until
Uh,
9 now?
Yeah, well, be able to ready to get home, have dinner, and all that sort of stuff before they do the show. You know, because the
Which
show,
probably is also why they were having problems, committing to co-hosting. Then,
yeah, and then Chris, they've been doing it for a while, so even before Christmas stuff.
yeah,
But and you got to remember, for them that is not 6 o'clock; it's 8 o'clock for them. So they end, when they
it's
end
9
around
o'clock for them
10,
on the East
10:30.
Coast because, um,
Yeah, yeah. Start, but they start at 9, end about 10:30, depending.
yeah, and also I can't seem to get well. I know last week was the first week I did it, but I couldn't seem to get Chris to come on to because I still want to talk to him. I still hope to get him to understand that he's well. Even if Diana's not always available, he can still come on himself. And I know you said you talked to him about that too. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. So as we said, we're just chatting it up, folks. Just waiting for people to come in. Just give them a chance to come in, and we'll probably get started soon enough. So, I know you did talk a little bit about your comic, right? Before while I was
Yeah.
on. Um, Anything else going on that you want to mention? Any appearances you got coming up or anything like that?
Nothing spectacular. I did say about my show on Tuesday nights at 10 o'clock Eastern. You
Mhm.
know, uh, I know that's a bit during your show, but
That's at the
if
latter end, but
afterward,
hey, even if you can just come in prior to that and drop in
yeah,
and get into it. Hopefully you've been getting into some of the stuff that I've been reporting on at least.
uh, a little bit, I think.
I know the last
I
couple of
just,
nights
yeah,
I've been focusing more on anime, but only because I knew that we'd be covering a lot of comic stuff like tonight, and so I didn't.
yeah,
And then of course now I'm doing the release. The release is on Tuesday, so
yeah.
I'm trying to
Well,
keep
bit
up.
sort of a big thing that I found out that happened this week that I didn't know in time for my show. Kirstie Alley died.
Oh yeah, I heard about that too. Saw the other day. I guess she had been recently diagnosed with colon cancer, and she's like
Yeah,
71. So kind of hard to believe because even now she still looks younger. She's 71, but yet she still looks like she could pass for being in her 40s or 50s.
yeah.
You
She
know,
got gained some weight over the years, but
but that's just
the
natural
two
though.
yeah, the two main roles that I remember in is whatever her name was in Cheers, and of course
Rebecca,
Yeah, Rebecca, and Lieutenant Savak from
Star
Star
Trek.
Trek,
Yeah, that's right. She was in Star Trek too.
and then
And
they
then
replaced her in the
I
next
know a lot
movie.
of people may not know this, but prior to her really becoming a bigger name in Hollywood from her Cheers role, um, she
Yeah.
actually also was on. She was on. She was a contestant on Match Game back in the mid 70s.
Ah,
You know what Match Game is, right?
dating type game or game.
No, Match
It would
Game.
be one of two things: either dating or you know, trying to
It
match
was a
stuff
dating
up.
game show, but no. Match Game was a game where there were six celebrity panelists, right? And
Yeah.
and you'd have to match. In order to win the game, you'd have to match. All eventually match through usually two, maybe at times three rounds of questioning. Um, you'd have to match. What's that?
That was my phone. I think some sort of Amber Alert in the area here. I didn't read it just because it's annoying. I shut it off right away.
Uh,
It's not like I'm going to be probably seeing whoever it is in the Amber Alert right here, right now. So
all right. All
I
right.
can always
So yeah.
check it out
So
later.
yeah. So did you kind of go off YouTube there or something like that, or are you still on
No,
YouTube? All right,
I should still be on YouTube.
because there should
I've
still
got
be
the
three of us, but apparently not. So and I just tried to. So anyways, let's see. We're all right. So yeah. Yeah, match game though. Let me finish that up, and then we'll get started on the content here. Match game was a game show hosted by Gene Rayburn, where you had to match six celebrity panelists. You know, and the questions were like real silly questions, and it was I'll be this way, it was a very like um adult type game, right? The,
yeah.
some of the questions were like, let me see if I can you know like okay, so some of them obvious. Okay, so a lot of them were like fill in the blank or something like that. So it's like there was a man from Venus. whose head was shaped like and then basically now, granted, I think we all know what the obvious one would be, but each celebrity would write down an answer on a card, and then they would put it down to where nobody could see it, and
And then the
then
contestant would have to try and guess what they said.
right, and then depending upon how many they matched, that was the number of points they got. The total match for the whole game was 6. And they usually would do it within, like, there would be a question A and question B. So, so that was basically how the match game worked. The whole idea was to match the celebrities' guesses. So with that, anyways, we're now at 11 minutes here. So why don't we go ahead and get started here? So first thing I want to just show real quick before we get into the actual readings. All right. Okay, so these are generally the books, of course, went on sale in in July of 1939 from Dell Comics. Of course, this one's titled Dick Tracy, but we'll look at that in a quick moment here. Super Comics 15, Crackerjack Funnies 15. We'll be looking at those books a little bit too here. So just as a little notations here, Dick Tracy number one. Well, here, let me go ahead and enlarge the print a little bit there.
Ooh, 10 cents for 64 pages.
Yep.
Yowzers.
Yeah, that was what it was back then. So
Good deal. Good deal.
all right. So, anyways, Dick Tracy number one, Dell, 1939, July. Approximate on sale date, July 1st, 1939, 10 cents before pay. This issue contains no indicia or number, hence why number one is in parentheses there. It is considered to be Four Color Series 1. So, Four Color Series 1, number 1. Okay. Yeah, I think I added it. Okay. No, I had it at 150, I believe. Okay. So I'm going to go to one more source for this for a little further explanation. Even though, again, only some skeletal data, and just so I know that. So this is now this is number 8, 1940 as well. So notes here. So this is what numbering continues in Four Color 1942 apparently. So they had like two different series under the same name with basically the same premise here. So I'll read through this a little bit. Notes: Dell usually published multiple issues of this series per month with different features in each issue. As a series, it was held together mostly by its numbering. Only issues number 19 through 25 carry the continuing title Four Color, quote unquote. Preceding and successive issues change titles every issue to match their contents. By convention, the entire series is referred to as Four Color. For unknown reasons, Dell restarted the numbering on the series in 1942, leading fans to refer to the first series in quotes and second series in quotes, or Series 1, this series, and Series 2, the 1942 series. So the number one issue, and you notice that the Dick Tracy ones are like kind of whited out there.
Yeah.
The most, with the exception of the one from number 8. But I think they may just not have the like white here in this case just means skeleton data. In other words, there's no real information there. It just had the cover right
Mm.
there. But
Yeah.
that's what this series was all about. These were kind of like one shots. These were like one shots here. Just give you a good look at the cover here. Now these were the kind of one shot features that where they had one character. You know how at this time how we've been dealing primarily with anthologies, right?
Yeah.
Um, so um, so a lot of these books were more like feature books as opposed to anthologies. In other words, they just featured like one character or like let's say one set of characters. Of course, Dick Tracy by Chester Gold, 68 pages, all in
Mm.
color. And of course, there's no copy of
Yeah.
this issue, so that's why we can't necessarily read it at this point. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I just wanted
But
to.
would they would probably still be anthologies, multiple stories about Dick Tracy, right?
I think in
Not just
this
one.
case, for
Just
these books, it was more like one. It was like one huge. It was actually one story, and just because
oh, oh
now remember a lot of these were reprints. So
yeah,
so instead of they might have so they might have had like one continuing story or two stories. It may
a
have been somewhat
64
like that.
page a 64-page story back then. That would have been something.
Yeah, yeah,
Or 68 pages actually. It says on that cover, so
yeah,
that would have been something back then.
yeah,
That's why I was thinking it might have been multiple stories, something like Archie Comics is now, or
yeah,
used to be nowadays. They'd have 2 or 3 stories, you know, 6 or 7 pages each.
yeah. Actually, most books back in this time, as you've seen, were like that.
Yeah,
Some of the ones that were more like this, where they were reprints, you'd have 2 to 4 pages, and you'd have like 10 to 14 features in the book. But
yeah,
and then some of the more like action adventure theme books, like the superhero books, they'd have 7 or 8 features that would average about 7 or 8 books. So
yeah.
that's what you had going for you. But anyways, so now with all that, let's get to more of the reading. I'm gonna first go through Super Comics first, because between the two books, even though they're the same number, Super Comics actually came out first before like it came out I think in March of 37, and then Cracker Jack came out in April of May of 37 when it was originally um, published. So with that, let's get down to Dell Comics here so we can get there. Let's see what I'll do. Now, initially, this thing only had like 3 books in it, but I think this past September they added a whole bunch of books for this
Ah,
particular title. So it was kind of cool. I saw that. All right, so there's some notes here. 1939, 60 pages, scanner unknown. Copyright characters Dick Tracy and Orphan Annie removed. So Super Comics. Oh, look! Well, we'll have lobster for dinner. Letter caught. Lester caught a nice big one.
yeah.
Oh, oh.
He
I,
just
I was
towed it
actually
in.
thinking it was Lester who was speaking, but but it wasn't actually. Oh, that was a woman. Oh, oops. I'll try that again. Oh, oh, look. We'll have lobster for dinner. Lester caught a nice big one. 10 cents, number 15 there. So let's go through this a bit here. There's spooky. Oh, that
Cookie, yeah. The red, right.
red and white coloring there. Smoky Stover. Smokey Stiller, Terry and the Pirates, Zipper, little dog there, and look at that look at that an ad for a rifle there.
Yeah.
Zipper.
Zippity doo dah, zippity yay.
My oh my, what a wonderful day! Oh,
All day.
plenty of sunshine heading my way. Zippity doo dah, zippity yay. Stamp album. And see, you know how I always talk about the idea that how I always talk about the idea that that these a lot of these comics were kind of had like were kind of like when you compare them to like highlights, you see some of these activity pages right here.
Yeah.
Big game hunting, gasoline alley. All right, why don't we look? Why don't we go through this one a bit here? All right, so Gasoline Alley by King. All right. You want to do the guy right there, and I'll do the girls.
We're a bit late, girls, but here's Skeeks I've been telling you about.
Huh. My, my name's Myrtle. Come on, Skeezik. Skeezik. where, where do we go from here, big boy? All right. I'll let you do the boys. I'll do the girls.
Okay. Tops didn't tell me we were meeting anybody.
Surprise! Surprises are a lot of fun. Don't you think, Skeezix? Looks like they're going to a hoedown or something like that.
A drive-in or shop.
Let's see. Well,
Where's Tops? I haven't seen him since that last dance.
what do you think is going on here, Rick?
I think it's they're having some fun. Well, at least one guy is. They're supposed to be double dating,
Yeah,
and
but
she,
here's
this
what I
pizza.
just after even after these first couple panels, I think this is set up as like a double date, but Skeezix didn't get the memo,
Yeah,
right? Don't you just love blind dates?
yeah.
Okay. So
His car is gone. I just went to look.
we should worry. It'll come. We should worry. It'll come back. Come on. We might as well dance.
Jeez, where have you been, Tops? I gotta get home. Tess and I just went for a ride.
Home? Why the evening's just started?
I'll get heck from my Uncle Walt. Is his last name Disney?
Well, you have to kind of wonder that, don't you? Let's see. Why didn't you think of that before you started?
Oh well, it's all in a lifetime. We're sure enough out of gas. I can scare up 11 cents. Try to scare up the rest, and I'll go find us a gallon of gas.
Okay. The first word was scare, but I think the second word was scrape.
Oh, scrape, yeah.
Yeah. Are you able to read this off of the StreamYard screen, or are you do you have
I'm
the?
reading it up. I'm reading it off the StreamYard stream. That way, it's just a little easier that way.
All right. Um.
That way, I don't have to change, panel tabs or whatever.
hmm, All right. Well, you're up here.
Uh yeah. You were late getting in last night, young man. Explain. I went riding with Tops, Uncle. Well, and we ran out of gas, and I had to hoof it to find some.
Hmm.
Just you and Tops? No girls? Well, only two. Who were they? Friends of Tops. I didn't know what was going I didn't know I was going out when I started. Honest. Tell me what happened. We just went for a ride and stopped at Okie Dokes and danced as man to man. Was that the worst you did? No. The worst was we spent $2.65 of my money.
uh,
And don't ever say blind date again to me, Tops. I had a swell time. It wasn't my fault you didn't, Skeezix.
yeah, but here's the thing though. He didn't really he wasn't I think he wasn't really forthcoming with Skeezix about what was going on.
Yeah,
It seemed like he was kind of surprised at the whole situation. In fact, we even noted that in that previous panel, right?
yeah. You
Uh,
gotta learn to relax and enjoy yourself.
huh. So it was your idea to wish that Skeezix infant on me.
He's a good scout, Myrtle.
He's a he's a stick. All he could think of was getting back home again.
I'll take you out myself, Myrtle. The first time I had the price, first time I have the price, or you have.
Have the price or you have.
I guess that means money in
Yeah.
this case.
Maybe I don't know, or maybe it's just their fancy way of saying privilege. Like, yeah,
Either money
I
or
have the
time.
privilege of taking you out, or you have the privilege of being taken out by me. I guess. So let's see. You Skizix? No, I've got my apron on and I'm baking. Did you have a good time the other night? Yes. You know what? You know what I'm talking about? I know you were at the Okie Doke. You see, I find out what's going on. Oh, this is a different girl altogether.
Yeah. Think,
A friend of mine told me, no, I won't say who. So you don't intend to go and uh, so you didn't intend to go and got roped in? Is that what you told that flashy brunette? Oh boy. Sounds like somebody's jealous, huh?
yeah.
All right, you're up.
Tops, You got me into all this trouble with Nina. Take me out there, will you? Okay, if it'll quit your squawking. Give me an hour to talk to her and then come back. I want to see Nina on something very important, Mr. Clock.
Nina Clock. Interesting name. Potentially, I guess.
Yeah, Nina Clock. 9 o'clock?
Uh, yeah. Um. All right. I'll do the old man here. She isn't home, and I don't know when she'll be back.
I'm sure it was Pete Moss told her I was dancing at the Okie Doke, and I'll bet she's with him. And why did I tell Tops an hour? Because you thought you'd be inside? And Nina won't even let me explain about going out with those Janes. Tops framed me, and I could tell Nina all but if she'd listen, I'd bet if she was Pete Moss, it was Pete Moss that told her, and she's gone back to him.
Oh, okay. I guess
Oh,
that was it for that. Hold on. Wait. Oh wait, no. Why did I do that? Mikey Goof. Previous page. Let me. All right, hold on here. What's going on here now? All right. All right. Sorry about this. I just something went a little screwy there. Let me.
it's not showing up in between the things.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know what's going on with that, so I'm gonna try this. All right, hold on. I'm gonna close this window out. Try this. Try to get it reestablished here. Don't know why that happens. Oh wait, no, not that. Let's say we're doing some kind of. Ah, crud! What's going on with this now? Ah, they must be going through some site maintenance or something. Yeah,
What?
let me try Crackerjack Funnies then. We'll come back to. We'll see if we can come back to Super Comics in a moment. You know, let's see what happens if we go through.
See if I can get it up.
Huh?
I was just saying, see whether I can get it up for you. Um,
Well, I got Crackerjack Funnies up, so
what's it under? Comic books.
yeah.
Uh, oh, you probably log into it, eh? That probably helps. I'm looking
No,
for it.
I don't have a login here. I just.
Okay. Just trying to find the search. It's Dell Comics, right?
Super Comics.
Super, but it's under. Isn't it under Dell?
Yeah, let me see. Oh, okay. So the title page disappeared on me, but all right, I got it back now. I got it back now.
What do you do?
Yeah. Apparently whatever reason the title page got cut out there for some reason, but we can still go about our back to where we were here. So there's of course Gasoline Alley and what we were. All right, Little Joe. I'll go back to this for a moment. I was trying to see if there. Well, usually, okay. So these are reprints. So this is usually like. So I guess that would have been the 4 pages. I guess would have been the 4 pages. So
Yeah.
usually these ones go like 3 or 4 pages. They're reprint. So all right. So Little Joe. All right. So we'll continue on here. Skit and Scat. Um. Let's see. That one looks kind of like a. Let's see. Where are we at on time here? Let me just.
It is 9:37, so we've been going just under 40 minutes.
All right, so we're still good on time, but I said I like to try to mix things up a bit here with these ones, you know. So,
Yeah.
we just did some kind of a humor slice of life one, so that's why I'm like this one looks gonna. But let's see, Smiling Jack. Just want to see. Let's see, 25,000 prizes. Enter. Well, let's see. My. Oh, I know where. Smoky Stover. Sweeney and Son. Percy Go Bang. The Gumps. Some. Hold on. I guess I'm going to go back to Skip and Scat and do that one, and then we'll. That one was only 2 pages, anyways. But like, yeah, only a couple pages, anyway. So I might as well just. All right. Um. Let's see. You want to do the? Let's see. Skit and Scat. Let me just see here. Okay. I'll be the old man there. You be the kid.
Okay.
All right. I guess Scat might. Oh, Scat and I. Okay, Scat is cat. All right. So let me just enhance this a little bit here. All right. As I said, I'll be the old man. You be the Skit and Scat. So
Uh,
the kid, I guess, is Skit, Cat, Scat. So, all right. So I gave you the role of the kid. I'll take the old man. So go for it.
okay. Scat and I are thinking of making a pair of skis for next winter.
Oh, talking of skis, lads. Did I mention? Did I ever tell you how I once saved a complete Swiss village? I was exploring a very difficult peak when suddenly a tremendous roar rent the air. Rent the air. What do you think that
Uh,
phrase means, Rick?
uh, r- well, roared, rent the air. Like, sound it through the air. I'm not sure how to put it in exact words. you know,
Oh, they sent like a shockwave
tore,
through the
tore,
air, maybe.
tore through.
Yeah, that'd be a good way of putting it. Um, it was an avalanche, heading straight for the village. It in a trice, I was whizzing down the mountain. The friction of ski and snow burned my feet, and I left a trail of hissing steam in my wake. I suddenly, in a trice. What do you think in a trice means?
Uh, Trice. Trouble? Maybe
Maybe a short amount of
is
time,
it?
like real
Yeah,
quick, like we might say, like in a moment or in a second.
yeah.
Hmm. The village loomed below me, and I released it, and I realized it lay at the foot of a high cliff. The avalanche was behind me. I couldn't turn back. Um, could I clear the village and land safely, regardless of danger?
I think that's going to be one huge jump. That might hurt falling.
Well, look at the picture right there. I think I
Yeah.
think you got I think you got a point there. And with every muscle braced, I leaped far into space on what was the greatest ski jump ever made by man. Doesn't this
Yeah, I
guy?
guess so.
You get the impression this guy's probably a bit one of those tall tailors.
Exaggerate, telling a tall tale, exaggerating
Yeah.
slightly.
um, Seeing me above, every man, woman, child rushed from the village towards my landing place. Thus, the empty village was buried without a single loss of life.
How would he know every man, woman, and child came unless they told him afterwards?
It could be.
That's very nice, Mr. Ski Pilot. And now just climb these steps and hang the picture you knocked down.
Good gracious, don't be silly. You know I get dizzy even standing on a chair. Okay. What do you think is wrong with that, Rick?
Yeah, with that ski thing that he did, that would be a little higher than the chair.
Yeah. Doesn't make much logical sense, but I think that's the absurdity of the storytelling back then, right?
Yeah. Then again,
But
I
then that's
guess the
why this
skiing.
is considered humor series too.
Yeah. Then again, I guess the skiing incident could have caused um his dizziness from to standing on a chair or whatever.
Right, right. Hurry up, Skip. We got to go to the newspaper office and judge a baby show. And now, while Scat and I drop into the editor's office to name the winning mothers, I'll leave you in charge of the kitties. Skit doesn't look too happy.
No, he does not.
I'm sure that exclamation point is coming with a few expletives along the way. You know what an expletive is, right, Rick?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure some not nice words.
Yeah, what we might
Which
call
could be
four-letter words or a curse
yeah.
word. You're up, and I'll do the baby.
Okay. Huh. It would pick me for this job.
Dada, goo goo.
No, no, don't do that.
Oh. Looks like he's about to drink some ink. That won't help it. Goo, 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 goo.
Help! These kids are driving me crazy! I've got to do something!
I'll do the ladies here. Where are all the children? Where's my Marmaduke? Marmaduke! Of course,
I,
back in this time, you did have some kids named Marmaduke, but you know why that's funny, right?
yeah, because of the stories with the
Of the
dog
dog.
Marmaduke.
The dog.
Patience, madam. Now let me see. Marmaduke. M. Here he is, lady. Next.
Dada. All right, so that was how was that? A couple pages there. That was kind of that was a little that was pretty funny, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see. And of course, Rick, anytime, as always, anytime you want to, if you have anything comes to mind, feel free to comment or ask questions. As always, I always say, and of course, at any time, feel free to share your link as well.
Yeah, I was just about to do that. Here's a link to my Indiegogo. Well, you're finding the next story. I'm going to go grab a sip of something to drink. So I'll be right back.
All right. So as you guys might see in the chat there, Rick just put his link up for his for Canadian Shield, so you might want to go check that out. And as Rick noted, I am gonna kind of see what we can find in terms of next story. East over, Sweeney and Son, Percy Go Bang, the Gumps. Actually, let's look at this one next. Gumps here. And we're just gonna wait for Rick to come back before we get started on the Gumps. And I don't think these particular Gumps are related, of course, to Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Jenny, you should go home to Greenbow, Alabama. Granted, I know I'm no Tom Hanks, but Tom Hanks is no Mike Walters either. uh, yeah, so anyways, let's see that. Yeah, so that's why we, seen some pretty good comics here. I need to double check what page are we on there while we're waiting for Rick to come back to. So just over halfway through the book here. Let's see. Coming to the crossroads. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish when I eat my fish.
I need my headphones on.
I
hear something coming out of my headphones, just not what.
I was just singing. A little Popeye. Just waiting for you to come. So we're gonna look at the Gumps here.
Okay.
I'll take
Hopefully
the
we
tall,
don't
I'll
get
take
grumpy.
the tall guy. You can have the short guy. How's that?
Okay. The kid, I guess.
The kid. This is a swell day to try out your new sled, Chester. We'll hook it onto the back of the truck, but remember, never do this when I'm not with you. Let's see. Why, this brings back my boyhood days when I was a kid. I used to jog along on a sleigh with a one horse power motor named Dobbin. Now, what I'm guessing he's talking about, of course, is like a one horse, like
A one horse open sleigh?
Yeah.
And the horse's name was Dobbin?
Dobbin, yeah. Well, son, guess we've gone far enough. Now I'll just release the rope. Maybe the kid doesn't have anything. Oops, the rope is caught. The truck's going too fast. We can't jump off. We'll just have to wait till it stops. Coast to coast company.
I guess they're going for a long ride.
Mm-hmm. I guess that was the end of that story. So let's look at this one now. Let me see what you're hiding behind your back, Chester. A report card. Now I see why you were hiding it. These marks. Oh wait, a report card. Now I see why you were hiding it. These marks are terrible. They're the lowest I've ever seen. Why, when I was a boy, I was the pride of the school. While my companions wasted their time, I found pleasure in my books. As soon as my chores were finished, each morning, I'd run 3 miles to school. I've been getting there ahead of the teacher. District school number 4. I was always the first to answer my teacher's question. Apparently, he was the only student in school, it looks like.
Yeah.
Madagascar island off the southeast coast of Africa. Nothing stumped me. No problem in arithmetic was too hard for me to solve. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Look at what they're having him try to do there.
Yeah, that's easy. Fairly easy.
Well, nowadays, yeah. Now, granted, that type of stuff, when we were kids, we were hitting it, about 4th and 5th grade? At least with the multiplication aspect of the column addition there, that was done more like, I think, 3rd grade level. So 3rd grade math level. One day my teacher was ill. I had to take her place and teach the class. No, young man, you cannot bribe me.
Yeah, well, I get that.
There were other students there, apparently. I was graduating from school with the highest honors. Graduating class 1908, PS number 4.
Is that 8 or 3? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Well, 08. Well, it could be 08. So let's see. 08. Well, let's say for a moment that even back then, Well, okay, so let's say back in those days, um, you graduated school at 18, so that would have meant he would have been born in 1890. If this is to take place around the current supposed time that this comic was written, 1939, 1890, so he's been like four. So this tall guy right here would have been
40s or 50s.
49.
And that might, that like you're saying, that might even be 1903, not 1908.
Yeah. So all right. So you're about to have a couple of lines here, but first off, let me do mine here, and then. Why I would have been ashamed to bring home a report card like this. Your turn.
But Papa, that's your work card. I found it in the attic.
Dude got caught in a lie. Right?
Yep.
He got caught
You
in
didn't
a lie.
notice that paper was a little bit old?
Alright, so let's see. So
And just so you know, for the time, we're just coming up onto the hour mark
alright,
of the
so
show.
yeah, so well, let's yeah. Probably not gonna I know, as I said, RJ. Apparently, there are a lot of people over on that stream too that I was talking about with the whole Mike Barron story. So I think you and I are the only ones here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see where are we at. Okay, 37. So yeah, Moon Mullins. Let's see. We'll just speak through the rest of this and then maybe start going over to. Okay. So I'll. This is more. So we'll go ahead. So do you know if a flying fish is a bird or a fish? If in doubt, keep it like this. Okay. Let's see. What
In
else?
a bowl in a cage.
What else can we find? And if you don't have a break in this one, there'll be a smash. There'll be a smash just the same.
It's the
Wait.
pictures down below.
Okay. Did you know that if you break in this case, there'll be a smash, and if you don't have a break in this one, there'll be a smash just the same.
And there's a picture underneath that we're not seeing. Going down a bicycle on a steep hill.
You know if a picture, you know, picture of a submarine out of sight on a foggy night. You know that there has never been a collision on the Sleepytown Railroad. Of course, there hasn't. This is the only train they've got. Okay.
Well, yeah, it says collision. Well, it could still collide with something on the tracks, like a moose or something like that.
Yeah, a
Somebody.
little Percy Go name feature, but anyways. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, some interesting stuff there as well. Let's see. Smitty, Harold Teen.
Winnie Wrinkle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just. Well, let's see. Actually, even though we're at, I think we got enough. Let's see. Are we at a time here? Let's see. Yeah,
The hour
we're
mark.
right at an hour, so we got time. We got because Yeah. All right. So let's do Harold Teen here. All right. All right. So I guess you do the guy in the. I don't know if the guy in the guy on the left there is Harold Teen or not, or if it's the guy on the right. But you want to do the guy on the left? I'll do the guy on the right.
Okay, so I'm
In this
doing.
first panel right here. So I'm talking about the guy on the left there,
Well,
the guy with the hair. I'm talking, and I'll take the guy with the no hair.
okay.
All right. My friend, look at that gang of goose on the walk.
It's a man on the street.
Well, someone else step up, please. Oh. Well, someone else step up, please. Why don't you step up, my friend? Here's a chance to get your voice on the air.
Nah, I wouldn't know what to say.
Go on, don't be a scaredy pants. Say hello, ma, or something.
Quit shoving.
Hmm. Your name is Harold Teen, and you live here in Covina.
Yes, 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 sir. Ooh,
Yeah, even I couldn't tell. Louder. Oh, and what do you think is more important to a girl, clothes or a man?
oh, a man. On account that gals couldn't get along without us men.
Uh
Hello,
oh.
bunny duck.
Oh boy. You know that would not that answer would not fly today, right? You know
Yeah,
that answer would not fly today. You see what you said there, Rick?
yeah, yeah. About women not getting along. Obviously, bunny duck is something that I don't get. They're
Yeah,
m- making fun of them afterwards, but
yeah. Atta boy. Ha 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 ha. Bye bye, buddy. Ha 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 ha, bunny. Ha ha ha, duck.
I thought yours would be first there.
Oh, okay. Nitwits.
Wonder if my little Lambie was tuned in.
Well, we'll find. I think we're about to find out.
Did you hear my broadcast, little titmouse?
Oh, that would not go over too well either.
I think I'm saying that slightly wrong,
No,
but
well, okay, it had a different meaning back then. Okay,
yeah,
tit, titmouse is kind of like how I would how you know how sometimes I'll call people twits or twidiots, right?
yeah.
Titmouse it was more of a term of endearment back then, but today it would probably not go over well because, as we all know, tits are unfortunately a negative diminutive
Well,
for women's breast.
I wouldn't say negative, but you know,
Yeah.
it's just probably it's not. It's
Anyway,
more
I'll do the girl.
brash way of referring to a woman's chest.
Yeah. You mean that bragging you did?
But
Since when were you men so indispensable to us women, and how the crowd razzed you over the bunny duck, a fine situation.
but but
You may you may unquote you may unquote I'm I'm gin you the I'm gin you the gong, and you're off the air so far as I'm concerned. All right. I didn't get that one word in there, but wait,
yeah.
let's argue this out uh, quietly.
You push me to that Mike worm.
The the mop, the mop. Uh,
Yeah, I think that one definitely had some phrasing from that time that we did not really get. Well, we might have got slightly the gist, but
yeah,
why they use the phrasing like that?
yeah. Well, here, you two. Idea, you two lazy lots, sleeping all afternoon. Get out and get some air.
Aw,
Urgh, scold. Sometimes your mother has the meanest disposition.
you said it, Pops. I'm gonna run around the yard to get warm. Pops is still standing around shivering. This'll wake him up.
Ow! Two can play. Two can play that. Play this game. My my my
Fine feathered.
my fine feathered friend.
My, there's still life in the old gent.
Upstart. In my day, I was the crack snowball shot of my neighborhood. Aha!
I give up, Pa.
No giving up, punk. You gotta take your medicine. Oh boy, look what happened. Crash! Oh boy, they're in trouble now. Thomas! Harold! What was that noise? See what you started, infant?
Shh. Shh.
And here we got some more Helteen here. A wall in potato answer. Let's see. Will will you stop those two monkey shines? Will you stop those monkey shines with my glasses and kitchen utensils? Jiggers, that the old lady I scram. Uh, brethren, um, brethren and sisterin. I'm I'm really getting good. I Pliali Amy or Aim. Yeah, Amy. Oh, this must have been the other guy. Oops. Pops, on occasion when you're busy and need a helper, I can recommend the very best soda jerker in the town. And who might this illustrious person be? None other than Shadow Smart before you in the flesh and in person. Here. Okay, you scoffer, out from behind that counter and let a guy sling sodas what really can swing 'em. A simple demonstration, a single order, a flip of the wrist, and in she goes. That customer is served and amused. You ain't seen nothing yet. Supposing I got an order for 4 sodas, chocolate, orange, lemon, and sarsaparilla. Um, for instance, I shoot them all at once. Oh boy! Now you know what sodas were back in these days, right? Sodas were a little bit different, than what we know soda
Yeah.
today. You know what when they said soda, you know what a soda was back then, right?
It's seeming like it might be like what we would probably call an ice cream float nowadays.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. They call them ice cream sodas back then, but we would know it today as a float, you know. So whereas today we know soda as a carbonated drink.
Yeah. Uh, and up here in Canada, we also call it pop,
Yeah.
which sort of would have made it really different
Well,
calling it
then,
soda.
even back in these days, we would like the carbonated drinks we would call soda pops as well. Um,
Yeah.
they sail through the air with the greatest of ease, and each lands in this cup, ready one to alley oop.
Oh, stupid cat getting in the way.
Hey, yow! Plop, plop, plop.
Meow.
You're fired before you're hired. Fooey, Fooey, I resign. All right, so there we go. Okay, we're almost through this book. Oh, actually, 125 may have been a little too low there. Yeah, so that was probably the last story we'll do in this from this book. So we can get some of the stories read in the other
In
book.
the other book,
Right.
sounds like good.
So Crackerjack funnies. I'm actually going to need, and once I get this set up, I need to step away for a moment, do a couple quick little things here. So, Rick, if you want to like plug your book in, share your link or whatever, or just talk about like what we just went through here before I come back. Um, I'll be right. Well, let me do one more quick little thing here before I go.
After these messages, he'll be right back.
All right. So, anyways, gonna if as I said, you're gonna share your link or talk about
Yeah.
your book or even talk about what we were doing here, I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. Well, people, it's our time again where we can get friendly. Okay, no, that's just wrong. I don't know who's all out there, if anybody, or who's watching on the or watching afterwards. Hopefully you've been watching or rewatching all this time, going all the way through. Hope you are all doing good. Um, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? So, I don't know what I was saying last time. Of course, I know I mentioned about coming to Cross Comics in 2023, the next three books. I of course am on Twitter, and I am here, of course, on YouTube. I have a show every Tuesday night at 10 o'clock Eastern. Um, it's just a chill stream. Come by the chat with whoever's there. Um, we've been going through some, I think, pretty good little stories. Oh, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? Um, so I'm not sure what will be up next. Of course, probably some little funny stuff, little short stuff. Um, trying to think what to say, what to do. Woohoo! What-a-woo! Ba-da-ba-doo! Um, yeah. So yeah, on Indiegogo you can find my stuff. I don't know what to say. I'm I'm stumped for something to say. Um, what is there to say? I know I've been watching Love Boat recently. I'm in season two. It's amazing seeing all the actors that you know from different shows and ones you don't on it. You know, I just was watching yesterday or earlier today. JJ Walker was on it. We've seen a whole bunch of people. Mr. and Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. I've seen some of the Brady Bunch on. Um, seen Mr. Drummond on from Different Strokes. Seen Todd Bridges on also. I'm not sure whether Gary Coleman's been on or not. But lots of people that recognize like that from different shows, and ones that you know. At least I don't. My mom recognizes some other ones, famous and soon to be famous. Um, people from at that time, because Love Boat did start in the 70s. So it ran for 10 or 11 seasons, I think. So I'm only in season two. Um, we're in the first season. Well, in this season, actually, Captain Stubing, it's shown his daughter for the first time. I know she comes into it later to be cruise director, like the one lady that I can't think of her name at the moment. Julie, that's her name. Um, yeah, she comes to be on to be a cruise director with Julie, but it's neat, and I think they use the same actress when they bring her in later on. That was a real touching episode, and Captain Stubing doesn't even know that Captain Stubing is her dad, which is sad too. She thinks her dad's dead. Her mom had died like 8 months ago. Captain Stubing did not know either. It was a love of his life from a long time ago. Well, 8, 10 years ago. Uh, so that's been pretty good. Um, I'm not sure. Did they try and do a second Love Boat? I'm not sure whether I'd want to watch Love Boat, a remake of it nowadays. It would. All I could see is it being very cringy. So, what else should we talk about? Oh, okay. What shall we talk about? Oh, is there anything to talk about? There's always something to talk about. But I don't really know what at this moment. I know there's dead air right now. Dead air's not a good thing. Um, Trying to think what I can talk about. Well, I've put up short videos. I'm on the last page of Canadian Shield for coloring it. Hopefully that'll be done tomorrow, Sunday the latest. And then just gotta go over it for doing corrections. That hopefully will take less than a week or less. And then there's lettering it, which should take a day or two. And then, of course, getting it to the editor to make sure all the dialogue is good and decent and all that sort of stuff. Uh, and then hopefully it'll all be done for January and then off to the printers for the early January. And then hopefully I have it all in before the end of January. And then we're, shipping it out by beginning of February or by the end of January. I'd like before the February begins because then I can at least technically say I've sent it in January. Although everybody will be getting links to the digital for what they order by the end of uh, this month.
All right, I'm back. So I guess you didn't share your link again.
Well, I didn't share a link. I was just talking or trying to talk, thinking
Oh,
stuff to talk
mm,
about first.
yeah,
Figured that's a little bit more important.
yeah. Again, if we had more people on the show, or in the chat, at least we'd have more interaction. And that would
Yeah,
help.
but
That would help the conversation a little bit. But anyways, all right. So anyways, now I got it back up to two watching again finally. But anyway, so let's see, where are we at on time here? And I know we're past the hour mark already, but
coming up to about the hour and a half mark.
hour and a half mark. Okay. Well, I think we're still a bit of time to at least get 2 or 3 features in here. So, no centerfold according to this.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's see now. All right. There's a western here. No, Dan done. All right. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and start doing Crack-a-Jack funnies. All right, so, and it kind of flashed through a bit more there. Let me. Oh wait! No, we don't need that yet until we actually go and read something. We just let's do here. I think this one has a few more of the. We won't do some of these sidebar ones as much. All right, here we go. Here's the first.
And
Now, when Batgoat was still co-hosting with me on here, he mentioned that this Dan Dunn reminded him kind of like a knockoff of Dick Tracy. So, but then you did seem to have some characters like Dan Dunn and Dick Tracy. You had the Captain General Kids and Captain the Kids and another. So Dan Dunn by Norman Marsh, Secret Operative number 48.
Secret Agent Man giving you a number and taking away your name.
As we know with Black X too, right? Black X, Black Ace.
Yeah.
I wish I could get my hands untied, but I haven't time to work at the ropes. Someone is coming up the stairs. I have a good idea what they are going to do, but I'll fight to the end. Thump thump. And slowly mounting the rickety stairs in the gloomy mill is Rip on his way to carry out the final orders of slaves. Guess I'll do the job with my knife. Won't make no noise, and then I'll wire some rocks to him and dump him in the river. Wire some. What do you mean? What do you think? Wire some rocks means, Rick?
I think it means tie some rocks to him
Right?
to weigh him down so he'll,
Sink faster. Yeah.
yeah, and stay
Ah,
down.
the top of the stairs. A few more minutes, and this job will be over. Hmm. It sounds like only one person coming up the stairs, but maybe there are more below. I'll clip this first one and take the rest if there are any more. Don't crack! It's Rip. He has a knife. It'll only cut these ropes on my wrist with the knife. Now to search him for weapons. My revolver and my handcuffs. There. He won't be able to move much with his wrist locked to his ankle. Very interesting. Uh, let's see. Now I'll have to I've got to get to a phone and get the chief of police. We'll raid Slade's hideout right away. So Rip was sent back to finish me. It was lucky I was able to handle him, and this car of his is handy too.
Yep.
There, an all night gas station. I'll phone the chief. Hello, chief. This is Dan Dunn. Have your men meet me at the river and Higgins Road? Yes, we'll need about 25 men. We're going to take in the counterfeiters tonight. Here is the corner. The police ought to be here any minute. There's an automobile coming this way now. As the police squads roar towards their meeting place with Dan Dunn, they pass a car driven by Slade's man Bop. You want to do Bop right there?
Okay. What are the police? What are all then police driving out that way for? I wonder if that could maybe they're heading for Slade's hideout. I'll take this shortcut. If they're going to raid the hideout, I've got to warn Slade.
And a few minutes later, a car flashes by the spot where Dan is waiting for the police. Wonder where that car is going in such a hurry. I thought maybe that was one of the police cars. They're due here now. You're up.
Slade, Slade, I saw a squad of cars coming this way. Maybe they're wise to this place.
What? Wake up the boys! If they're going to raid us, we'll give them a hot reception. What do you think? What do you think hot reception means, Rick?
In other words, they're gonna fill them full of lead.
Uh huh.
Fire at them with some guns. Okay, better get those Tommy guns broke out.
Meantime, the eastern horizon flushes to the first break of dawn. Dan Dunn and the police meet and make plans for the raiding of Slade's hideout. Listen, boys. Maybe the cop. Actually, all right. I thought I should have done the narration there first, but go, Rick. Wait.
Listen,
Actually, I was the one who was doing Slade there. Okay, never mind. Listen, boys. Maybe the cops are going to raid us. If they are, we'll blast them. If they get too hot for us to handle, we'll beat it out through the tunnel and let them grab the place. And I'd already done that. Now you and your okay. So you want to do the cops right there? I'll do Dan Dunn, of course, but you do the cops. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now you and your men understand the layout.
Yes, Dan. But if they're armed with machine guns, it's going to be tough place to knock over.
There's the place, Chief. Get some men around the back of the wall. Have them keep under cover. Then I'll take a couple of men and we'll advance on the house.
Okay.
Meantime, inside the hideout, Slade calls the bot. I just saw a couple of coppers move there all around the place.
Yeah, I saw one on the other side of the house. Well, we have to watch all sides.
There's one of them now. I'm going to give him a blast. The only way we're going to get Slade and his gang out of that house is with tear gas, Chief.
Here's a bag full of gas bombs, Dan.
Okay, tell the men that when you blow your whistle to keep up a steady fire at the windows. I'll try to approach the house and toss a few of them in. Everything set now, Chief?
Yes, Dan. Every officer will start firing as soon as they hear the whistle blast. But I wish you wouldn't do this.
Meanwhile, inside the house, say, Bop, I wonder if that alarm is set in the tunnel.
You mean that wire across the tunnel that'll ring the bell if anyone comes in that way? I'll see.
Yeah, go on down there and see if the thing is working. We can't take any chances of their getting us that way.
Well, we better not hang around here much longer. Anyways, this setup is getting too hot.
I'll tell you when we should beat it. This is fun, and we can leave anytime we're ready. Go ahead and check that alarm. Meantime, the police surrounding the house wait tensely for the signal to resume. Firing at the old house, Dan Dunn eyes Slade's hideout, narrowly. All right, Chief, blow your whistle.
Keep under cover, Dan. It's the whistle. There goes Dan Dunn, one of the greatest men I ever met.
Actually, I think that's gamest, not greatest. Gamest
Okay,
here, I think, probably means like brave or like up for the game, basically. Right, Rick?
yeah, I did read that wrong. I was reading what I thought it should say, I guess.
Uh-huh.
If if he can make that last 40 feet without being hit, everything will be all right.
And in the house, Slade's beady eyes blaze with a fearful hate. Gosh, that's the mug that tricked us. See, he's behind that tree. All of you keep your eyes on him. When he moves, let him have it.
You bet we will, Slade.
Yeah, that's a different thug altogether, but I figured I'd let you have that one.
Yeah.
I've got, I've got to make it to that next tree. If I can get across there, I'll be all right. So far, Slade's gang has not fired a shot. There he is now. Fire away. Get that rat. The police firing into the house isn't keeping Slade from shooting at me. A few more steps and I'll be behind that tree. They've got me. Did you see that rat detective? I thought that rat detective I thought was Kid Slick died behind the tree.
Yeah, I took a careful aim. I think we finished him, Slade.
I hope so. Break out another box of ammunition. Be ready if the coppers try to rush us.
They won't try it for a few minutes.
I guess not. Say, Bob, how about that alarm in the tunnel? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's working, and no one can come through here without our knowing it.
In meantime, behind the wall, the chief confers with one of his lieutenants.
The hit Dan Dung. Did you see him fall?
Yes, chief. Look, looked as if he fell behind that tree over there in over there. I wonder if he's done for.
Dan, are you hurt?
He may not answer, chief. He may want Slade to think he is out of it.
But if he is wounded, we should get him help to him right away.
If he isn't hurt, he will signal us in a minute. Meantime, Slade and his mob hold a consultation. Keep a sharp lookout. We don't want the coppers to surprise us. As soon as it gets dark, we scram out the tunnel through the woods to the cars and let them have this joint.
What a joke this'll be on the cops. They'll stick around for a couple of days before they rush the place.
And between the police lines and the house, a still figure lies huddled at the base of a tree. Dan Dunn.
And that's probably going to be it for that one with that sort of.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, because most of these features, like some of these more drama ones, are going to be like 4 pages.
And we are coming up to the quarter to the
Yeah,
hour
I
mark.
know, I
Yeah,
know.
I just figured I'd let you know, being your co-host,
Yeah,
you know.
and I do appreciate that. I also keep an eye on that as well. So
Yeah,
um, I'll
and
try to
those.
do. I'll try to do at least 2 more features here um, before we start to wrap things up a bit. Michael and his friends. All right, Tom Nick is one of the other features wanted to go for here, and I think I'll just go ahead and read the rest of them on my own because it'll
Uh-huh.
be faster that way. So
Uh,
if anything though if anything comes up that you want to comment on or anything, Rick, feel free to do so.
uh-huh.
Tom Mix and the story of Hoodoo Ranch. In a lonely cabin, an old prospector, he's dead. And the Black Gang rides again. Where's the cabin? I think I'll buy some grub. Hey, what's this? Looks like a note. The Black Gang. These tracks look like at least 6 horses. Better call the sheriff in on this. Gonna get the sheriff. Yeah? Alright. Oh. Gonna get the sheriff, huh? Well. I figure they killed him for his dust. I believe that would be Goldust. Oh wait, I skipped something there. As Tom rides away, a figure appears. All right, so sounds like Robo Squint Saunders. Um, let's go. I'll ride back with you. Maybe I can help. Good idea, Mix. The Black Gang has all the ranchers scared. The Black Gang has all the ranchers scared stiff. Here he comes! Here he comes to the sheriff. He's gonna get quite a surprise. Just as I said, Squint Saunders. Place poor old Squint. After you look at him, we'll follow their trail. Here's where their trail turns north. I don't see no hoof prints, but yarn. Meanwhile, two young men enter Five Corners. Here you are at Five Corners, boys. Gee! How do we get to the Randolph Ranch? Yeah, Randolph Ranch.
I'm just gonna go grab myself something to drink again.
All right. Take my advice and stay clear of Randolph's place. What? Don't be crazy. Uncle Randy sent for us. Will you take us out? I only want to tell you boys, there's been mighty queer goings on out there. What do you mean? Suddenly, two masked men bear down on the trio. Drop 'em, reins pronto. Get out, that buck's board. Get out of that buckboard. Meanwhile, Tom and the sheriff, the Black Gang must have returned and rubbed out their hoof prints. Pretty thin story, Mix. Thin or not, Sheriff, I can't afford to be jailed now. There's work to be done. I'll have to lay low until I can prove myself innocent of that Saunders murder. What's that? Looks like a masked holdup of that buckboard. Eow! Drop those irons, hombres. The masked men escape on their waiting horses. Well, they got away. Thanks anyhow, cowboy. They had us for sure. I'll write a piece with you. They might show up again. My name's Tom Mix. Tom McG. I'm Ted, and this is my brother Jack Randolph. We're on our way to our uncle's ranch. Yep, and I've been wait. Yep, and I've been warning about it. It's hoodoo. Hmm. A black gang holdup and a hoodoo ranch. Sort of ties up. There's Uncle Randy's place. I'll leave you here, but I'll be near if you need me. I'm getting back to town. Good luck, boys. To be continued. Rick, you back? You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, let's see. Well, we are at an hour 48, so I wasn't hoping to go too much past 2. So I guess I was wanting to try to do the Myra North story, but I also know that's going to be. I'll just flash through the rest of this. Won't even read anymore, but we'll just flash through. Of course, if you want to comment on any of the art as well, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to say about the art at all here.
Well, there doesn't seem to be too much funky or anything real funky about the art this week. You know, except for, the stylized, art, each, different style, for different things.
Yeah. So, anyways, I may one have spent a little too much time on the other book, but also with me, like one of the things when I last left, I had to go take care of my laundry a bit, so that's so that was fun. All right, so yeah, so anyways, we'll start to wrap up here. I know we'll go a little beyond 2 hours here, but with that, Rick, how did you like the stories tonight? Anything you want to comment on in terms of the storytelling, the art, or anything like that?
I well, it was seemed all real good to me. I was saying, the funny ones were funny. The first book was mainly funny ones. Not too much drama or whatever you want to say in those. And then the second book had was a little bit more serious type stories, which is good.
Well,
Like
we
you said,
only
you like
were
to
able
have
to get through two of them, and but it just so happened these two books both had, number 15. So, you know, um, again, with these ones, I do them a little more randomly. So that's why I can't always tell you, like,
yeah.
which characters to, that's why I just simply told you earlier to just, look through all of them and just have a better idea, so you might have at least some mental image of how you might want to do the voices when you do it. Anyways, we're at hour 54, so I'm going to start to wrap things up by, okay, today being Friday, December
December
9th.
9.
Mm-hmm. Going to take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. History! 32, then 2017. Okay. So with that, all right, so first off, we're going to head back 90 years ago. On this date, 90 years ago today, Van Buren Studios, Pennsylvania, a Tom and Jerry series. Now, this is a different Tom and Jerry altogether. This is not the Cat and
Cartoon.
Mouse Tom and Jerry. This is another series altogether. This actually predates, in fact, you see right there for the MGM cartoon and cartoon cat and mouse duo Tom and Jerry. But I guess that was this was back in 1932. So
Oh wow.
Van Buren's, yeah. So on this date, 90 years ago today, the Van Buren Studios short, Pennsylvania, went on or premiered on this date back in 1932. Van Buren Studios, Pennsylvania, premiered back in 1932 there.
And I saw they broke the fourth wall, as it was saying.
Yeah.
One of the
Well,
probably
you were
first
reading all
characters.
that as we're as I
Not
was
all
telling.
of it. I just got a few things, but
All right.
breaking the fourth wall is
Yeah.
something interesting for characters to do.
Yeah. So we'll go on to the next piece of niche history here as we go back 10 years ago today. As back in 2012, TNA Impact had its final resolution pay-per-view from the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida, which saw in the main event Jeff Hardy retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship over Bobby Roode. You also had team of Garrett Bischoff, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, and Westbrook being aces and eights with Devon, DOC, and for whatever reason they just said question mark there. Why that was. Kara defeated Mickie James to retain the TNA Women's Knockouts Championship. Mickie James right now going through her last rodeo tour in Impact right now. She actually just got a title shot at Jordan Grace for the Impact Knockouts title, set for Hard to Kill next month in January. So that's something to look forward to. Let's see. Bravo Guerrero Hernandez retained the TNA World Tag Team Championship via DQ over Joey Ryan and Matt Morgan. Rob Van Dam retained the TNA X Division Championship over Kenny King. So those are some of the title matches, big marquee matchups right there. So with that, moving on to next piece of niche history. Yeah. Anyways. All right. So all right. So next up here. Were you about to say something, Rick?
No.
Okay. On this date back in 2015, the 10th issue, and I'll enlarge this a little bit here. The 10th issue of Valiant's Ninjak went on sale on this date back in 2015. Sold for $3.99, was 40 pages. So
that's not too bad.
Yeah, on this, well, Valiant wasn't as widely known company either, but
I knew of it back then,
yeah,
but I'm just
people
saying.
did. I'm just saying, yeah, people did, but wasn't up there with like DC or Marvel. It wasn't even up there with like Archie or Dark Horse or Image or anything like that.
I think it would have been close to Image or
Dark Horse.
Yeah, maybe not so close to.
So on this date, 7 years ago today, Valiant's Ninjak, the 10th issue of Valiant's Ninjak, went on sale on this date 7 years ago.
I was just saying that's a pretty good price back then, even back then.
$3.99
not
40
long ago.
pages. Compared to today, yeah.
It's like 10 cents a page.
Yeah, you might have a point there. Well, of course, as we know from the books we just read, you could get 10 cents for a 64-page comic back in 1939, or for a 68-page comic.
Yeah. And although that seems great today, back then that was maybe expensive, but still you were getting 64 pages. It's not
Well,
like you were.
depending on how many comics you were buying too. Granted, they may
Yeah,
not have had as many as we do nowadays, but
that's true too.
all right. So the last piece in each history, which happened 5 years ago today. On this date, 5 years ago today, the first part of the Girls und Girls and Panzer final chapter movie series from Actus Studios um, premiered on this date back in 2017. So back in 2017, on this date, 2017, let's see, Girls und Panzer Das Finale Part 1 was released in Japan on December 9th, 2017. So Part 1 of this film series was released on this date 5 years ago today. So there we go. So there we go for all the
Anime fans?
yeah. Well, yeah, for all the niche history and all that. I thank everybody for being here tonight. Now, programming note, as some of you probably know, Rick, you know this too. We've added another episode, so we're now doing six broadcasts a night a week. Sundays we're now doing the weekend edition, which Rick, along with whoever else decides to show up, we do a panel show on Sundays to go back over, talk all things niche. Fridays, of course, are still our historical comic retrospect. Next Friday, Tim Olson will be joining me as we'll continue our look to July of 1939, looking at comics that went on sale, I believe, from Centaur. Awesome. And now a bit of note for you guys. So the Monday through Thursday Niche newscast, because with the adding of the extra of another show and stuff like that, I'm going on the newscast. I'm going to try to make them go just an hour and a half. Now I'm going to try to push them 2 hours because we know that the historical comic retrospect and the panel shows will be 2 hours. So the niche newscast will be running just about an hour and a half now. So hopefully I'll see everybody back here on Sunday when we have everybody back here for the panel, or Monday for the newscast, or especially next Friday for the niche or the historical comic book.
Well, I know this is a bit far off for that. For the 25th, will you be doing it on Sunday the 25th, the Sunday one?
I'm thinking about doing that. Yeah, because I know what you're talking about because that's Christmas Day. But since we're doing it in the evening, I'm leaning towards doing it. Like since like if we did something on Saturday, like Christmas Eve, I probably wouldn't. If it, let's say it was Christmas Eve, I probably wouldn't. But since that's Christmas night, basically everything has already happened at that point.
Yeah.
So, so I figure I might still end up doing it for a Christmas and for New Year's night as well.
Yeah. Well,
If
New Year's Day night.
Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, probably not. But since it's Christmas night, everything's already basically been done at that point. So
yeah.
So I figured, we're pretty much good to go.
Well, yes and no. It depends on how you look at it. Some people get together for dinner. Depends on what time your dinner is.
Yeah, but remember, since we do the broadcast at like 6. Well, we're going to be doing it at 5 because the weekend edition we're doing at 5 because I pretty much took over for RJ. With that, so.
Okay, I just thought I'd ask, because I thought it'd be something for the viewers to know maybe ahead of time that we will be here that night.
Yeah, I'm more than likely I probably will do it, depending on if I can get you guys to come. So more again, it would be the only way I wouldn't do it if it was Christmas Eve, it was Christmas or New Year's Eve, as opposed to Christmas, night or New Year's
Yeah,
night.
Christmas Day night.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So everybody, I thank everybody for being here tonight. Rick, if you can stick around for a couple minutes afterwards,
Yeah.
just for
Yeah.
post stream wrap up, as it were. All right, everybody. I thank you for being here. And I hope to see everybody back here on Sunday for the weekend edition. Bye.